We're going to bring our callers in. Again, we're talking to George Shultz, and Zebulon joins us from Sweden. Good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning or good evening here. Mr. Secretary, first off, thank you for everything you did as Secretary of State for the freedom of Europe. That is still deeply appreciated by us here in Europe. And secondly, my question, it has been reported that Russia has violated the INF treaty by deploying a new cruise missile. Now, since you're one of the chief architects of the INF treaty, I'm wondering, A, what should be done by the U.S. and our allies to respond, and B, hypothetically, what would happen if the nuclear arms control regime between the United States and Russia were to deteriorate? Thank you, sir.
Very good and important question. Let me remind you how the INF treaty came about. The Soviets had deployed SS-20 missiles, which are intermediate-range missiles. And the diplomatic background of that was those missiles could hit Europe, Japan, and China, but they couldn't hit the United States. And they put the question, would we risk their intercontinental missiles retaliating against our use of intercontinental missiles to protect Europe, Japan, and China? They were trying to use that device to divide us from our allies. And what did we do? We had a NATO commitment that we would try to negotiate some equal way. Our initial position was 0 on each side. And if we couldn't, we would deploy intermediate-range missiles in Europe. The negotiations went on, and we were very close-knit. We kept our allies. We kept the Japanese, the Chinese fully informed of everything. And it became clear that we weren't getting anywhere. So we deployed first in Britain. Margaret Thatcher helped us there. Then we deployed cruise missiles in Italy. Andreotti helped us there. Then we deployed ballistic missiles, nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles in Germany. That was the big deal. And it was Helmut Kohl's finest hour. Because of a huge amount of controversy and tension, the Soviets withdrew from negotiations. They fanned war talk, and our allies and we stood up to it. So that was, in my opinion, the turning point in the Cold War. And as time went on, gradually their anger subsided. And in August, I was able to go to the president, this was August 1984, and say, Mr. President, at 4 different capitals in Europe, at a party of some kind, a Soviet diplomat has come up to one of ours and said virtually the same thing, which was, if Gromyko is invited to Washington when he comes to the General Assembly in September, he will accept. In other words, the Soviets blinked. And so I said to Mr. President, you may want to think this over because Jimmy Carter canceled these visits when they went into Afghanistan and they're still there. He said, I don't have to think it over. Let's get them here.
Let me thank the caller. A lot of that supposed